They have GBI agents all over the state, undercover, dressed in plain clothes, playing these machines daily. Now, there's nothing illegal about auto title loan lending. But before you take them for a ride, make sure you pack plenty of things like food, water, a first aid kit, flashlight, and a change of clothes.
Blowing off of this property here, you can really feel the wind. That was a big gust right there, okay?
Now, you may be excited to come in here, pump some iron come January 1st. Next time you want to buy a Georgia lottery ticket, you might want to consider buying it here, and here. Just to fix up downtown buildings like this. But in this letter, they allege that the city used those funds just for their general expenses. Check it out. You have level 1 trauma centers in Savannah. But if you see Lembrick, officers say he is very dangerous. You know, he lay there, just blinking, staring up at the ceiling. My heart was pounding. I kept expecting to see something. He says if you're walking around, going from store to store, do not, hold your wallet out. 9:40 p.m., 2 men armed with shotguns actually ran inside this Dollar General store, right? People coming out here to Rep Today can find out how to take care of snakes. Let's say you own a business. Someone walks in looking for a job, but you find out they have a criminal record. President of Savannah Luggage Works, Alan Rice, says most might turn them away.
There's a legitimate concern among employers bringing in somebody with a criminal record.
But some Vidalia churches are partnering with employers to give these men the work they need to stay out of crime. Rice waits for the okay from Wilson Johnson before hiring young men who've committed crimes. Johnson works at the St. Paul AME Church in Vidalia. Through the church, he founded Community Project Hope.
And I will see the young men pleading guilty for breaking and entering or stealing or something like that, and making deals to go to prison for 10 and 15 years.
Wilson says jail was only teaching these men to be better criminals.
I just felt that something needed to be done.
Project Hope keeps track of young men ages 15 to 25 who found themselves on the wrong side of the law. Men like Terrell Mackey.
In a little trouble myself, but I guess my brothers had hit the fan first, so I came to him and I asked him what all I could do.
After Mackey met with Johnson, the wheels started turning in his mind how to change his life.
So you can convert your life over to Christ and over to being a positive person.
Now Mackey has a job, and he's not keeping the good news to himself.
Say like 15 that I have brought to Mr. Wilson, and he helped them. And they mindset has changed.
Johnson says Rice was the first business owner to jump on board. They explain how crucial businesses are to the whole process.
If they don't have a job, they may think you have something and want to take it from you.
If Wilson figures out a way for them to get a second chance, but they don't have a job, obviously nothing positive is going to happen.
In Vidalia, churches and businesses are working hand in hand to give troubled youth a chance to work with their hands.
That's a good chicken piece.
Who doesn't love a cookout during the 4th of July weekend? The Sanfords sure do.
And my wife, she thinks I need to open up a restaurant, but I just like serving people and seeing other people happy, so.
Jeremy Sanford, or as he's known in the Christian rap world, Brother Jay, loves cooking.
Me and my wife, we ever saying, we don't do nothing else, we're gonna eat, so.
The whole family's been at it since 9 a.m., cooking up dozens of chicken legs, pulled pork, baked beans, and more. Don't even think about asking how he makes his macaroni and cheese, though. Secret recipe, huh?
Yeah, it's a secret recipe. I can't tell nobody.
Now this looks like a lot of food, even for a family of 5 with a couple of nieces and nephews, but that's because it's not for them.
He said, Dad, we're gonna eat all that chicken. Who's all that chicken for? I said, well, actually, you're not gonna eat any of it.
All the delicious sights and smells today at the Sanford home will be going to those without a home.
About the people that's on 4th of July with all the grills going, and you're homeless and you don't have nothing to eat.
A good old 4th of July barbecue, hand-delivered to the homeless of Macon.
I just wanted to be a blessing to you if I can. I know it's 4th of July, man, and I just wanted to give y'all some fresh barbecue that I made myself.
Oh, I'm feeling great this time, sir, and it sure is a blessing. Make me feel very good inside as a strong.
But this isn't the Sanford family's first time feeding the homeless.
Wife and I did it. We actually were married again, and instead of taking a honeymoon, we had a lot of food left over from our wedding. So I said, well, let's just go out and feed the homeless with it.
When you meet Brother Jay now, it might surprise you who the man behind the grill used to be.
I was a troubled youth, alcoholic, drug user, drug seller, gang member.
Crimes that forced him to take a real hard look at where his life was going.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I was in a jail cell, and I just began to be sick and tired. And I remember praying to God, and I told God that I'd do whatever I need to do to be pleasing to him.
And that's why he says he's doing this today.
To really get an enjoyment of knowing that I did something that was pleasing to God.
ewmock, WGXA News. Pamela Wynn says the worst thing about being in prison is the time you lose with your family.
You can always make money back, but you can't get your time back. The time that I lost, I can never get that back.
Pamela served 5 years in prison for bank fraud. She says she wasn't able to see her sons the whole time she was there. Studies by the American Civil Liberties Union show a growing number of women nationwide are being locked up.
I mean, it's accelerating rapidly.
WGXA worked to find out if that trend is true in Georgia. Using data from the Georgia Department of Corrections, we found the number of women serving time in state prisons has grown by approximately 33% in the last 15 years. We also filed open records requests to several county jails to find out if the trend continues locally. Check it out. From 2001 to 2016, the amount of women booked into the Baldwin County Jail each year rose by about 5%. But if you look over in Jones County, the amount of women they booked into the county jail each year rose by more than 83%. Now, Bibb County and Houston County by far had the highest female population in their jails for that 15-year time period, mostly because they're the largest two counties in Middle Georgia. Bibb County rose by about 4% in that 15-year period. In Houston County, they rose by about 39%. Director of the program Motherhood Beyond Bars, Bethany Kotler, explains reasons behind the rise in women prisoners.
And that's what we're seeing. Methamphetamines, opiates, all those things are really landing people in terrible situations.
Her organization helps women who are pregnant in prison and offers support for women who give birth while incarcerated.
Really getting them over the hump, because these women have to say goodbye to their babies. They don't get to be with their babies after birth.
Pamela was pregnant when she went to a jail holding facility, and one night the unthinkable happened.
And I could feel myself wet, but you can't. You know, I assumed it was blood. I guess by midnight, the contractions had got unbearable.
Pamela ultimately lost her baby while incarcerated. Besides pregnancy, Kotler says some chronic conditions like diabetes and hepatitis C affect women more often than men.
Definitely the cost of caring for the medical needs of incarcerated women is much higher, and so it will cost more in the long run.
Meaning more taxpayer dollars to treat and house them. Both jail administrators in Houston and Bibb County tell us they're equipped to treat pregnant inmates and other female needs.
We have a medical facility here. We're able to take care of all of those needs as well.
And both jail administrators say the conditions for women in jail are comparable to men. Back to Pamela. She's using her experience to make a difference. She's part of a group called Women on the Rise, an organization to support incarcerated women run by former inmates, so that women who share her story don't lose precious time as well.
I don't know how to really describe heartbreak, but you just feel torn inside. You feel helpless.
Ewmock, WGXA News.